G'day everyone, how are we going today? Okay, I just want to say a little something before I start talking. I've got my Jesus candle here. I got it from the tip shop for $1. It's awesome, the Christ candle. We've got good old Buddha here, and we've got my African mask. So they're my sort of temples, my statues, my sort of the ones that I go and ask to for advice, and just say like tonight that I was just looking at my Heli mask and this one here, and just thinking about stuff. And there's a thing that Buddha says, like if you want to look at his picture or his statue, that whatever you ask of me, that I'll show you in my face. So they're just sort of like, I've got a lot of respect for the mask, and it's got big ET eyes, and I've got a lot of respect for Buddha because he pushed for peace and he never proclaimed to be a god. But I would like to know more about being Buddhist and practice being Buddhist, but to know that I can act like God, and that's what I think we should all do. We should try to act like God. So I've done a little bit of writing, and it's for a CE5 event. So just some stuff that I'm going to talk about, and I really want you to keep on tuning in and don't tune out. Don't quit after 3.5 minutes, keep on watching. So I'm going to ask you what should happen at a CE5 event. This is what I'm wanting everyone's feedback. I've got a pretty good idea what should happen at a CE5 event, but I'll run through everything, then I'll have a bit of a chat. What should we cover at the event? Think of other people that are different, so different colours, religions, and depending on what they watch on TV. Hope to include offer services. I wrote this shorthand, so I've got to talk about it. So we'll go back to what should happen at a CE5 event. Okay, I think at a CE5 event that we should target people that do CE5, and then we should open it up to the market, to the public, to get them to come along. People were different. Not everyone's going to like this area, so I thought of different ideas that what should happen at an event. So just say you're wanting to get people involved in an event. So, okay, for me that I'm going to have an event in December, I wanted to target some other people with my CE5 crew, so some other people that didn't come to my group, and because some of them are religious and some of them are spiritual. So what I wanted to do to be my sort of tribute to the extraterrestrials was I was going to have a table, I was going to have my Buddha, I was going to have my ET mask, I was going to have my crystals that I've prayed on and said prayers to. I was going to get people to say, hey, during the event, we're going to have a letter, write your letter to your master or your creator or the ETs. For me, I'm the ETs, I'm not saying that to God. So get the people that are into a religion that believe in God, get them to write out theirs. What we're going to do is we're going to put it out on a table, and we're going to get our crystal rocks and keep it down like that. Then we're going to do a CE5. Now, one of my friends didn't like that idea. That's fine, but what I was wanting to do was I was wanting people to think up these ideas and write things down. And one thing that I wanted to have on bigger events, that I wanted to have, have things on self-help. There's a guy called Dr. Wayne Dyer. I'm not sure if you've heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer. He opened my eyes to spirituality and he changed my life. I started making contact as soon as I watched that and as soon as it opened me up to it. So I think that I want to do for my CE5 events with this group that I want to create, that what we do is we go out and we write out a universal plan that how a CE5 event should go. Obviously you've got the people and you've got people with experience. Crucial. You need people, if you're going to do this event, people that have got the experience and people that know how to do it. What we're wanting to do and what I'm wanting to create from this is that we can articulate and go through all the ideas and through everything that we can think of to say what makes a good CE5 event. So, okay, for me, I'm going to run in Australia. I don't have enough money to come over to America, so I'm going to run in Australia. I'm actually thinking of targeting to the Aboriginals. So I'm going to have a spiritual event that is like, so when people can have a letter, they can write it to the motherland. So an Aboriginal person go, I'm writing to your motherland, for all you've done for us, for giving us life and everything like that. I just wish we're more multicultural and we're more understanding. They, respected us, Indigenous and blah, blah, not blah, blah, blah to make it sound like it doesn't mean anything, but, how I want this to be from this group is I want to have a universal layout. So, okay, at the start of it, we go have a talk and we talk about breathing. We talk about how breathing is so good. Do you find sometimes you're anxious and realise you haven't taken a breath? How about some good deep belly breaths to focus on your breathing? Let's talk about meditation. So we'll have a talk about meditation. There'll be self-help, so there'll be something like Dr. Wayne Dyer that will say, hey, we'll get some person to come along to give a talk, say, hey, your mind is a really powerful computer, like a powerful unit, all right? We always underestimate the power of what our brain is because based on how we're being treated or what other people's have been treating us or what they've been saying to us or what information we've been feeding ourselves. But we've got a lot of potential. So I want these events to have people like self-help, people that are spiritual people, that from the everyday person that, and this is how we're going to target. This group is to help market and the ideas on how we're going to do the posters to get this across. So look at this and say, hey, if you are involved in the CE5 community and you do CE5 events, please join me on this. This is a free site that we offer our services for free, that we're out there to help humanity, help the universe, help Gaia, help the whole situation, all right? I don't mind doing any of this for free. This is great. This is what I'm set out to do. I found my destiny. I know, found my meaning of the life. And I know that the ETs have chosen me and want me to help out in this situation. So, and that's when I was looking at that mask the other second, it was all changing and it felt like someone was there listening to me and I felt appreciated. So, okay, what things that we can structure this is about this, that we can say how to prepare yourself for the event. So when we do the events, realistically, to get someone else that hasn't experienced this, we have to say, okay, how are we going to get them to prepare themselves for the event? Something that's crucial, all right? What information to get people to look at beforehand? So what information are we going to get people to look it up? So when they're going into this and they're having to sort of think about it, it's not them having to then question, is this real or is this not? That we give them some information on what the event's going to be about. So what information is that going to be? Have info on self-help. So for me, I've got a mental illness, but I've been cured by the ETs because I've asked them to help me, and they have helped me. Don't get paranoid, I don't get all these other things. I feel fantastic. I suppose they said they felt pity on me and they helped me. So, do things on self-help. Dr. Wayne Dyer, he changed my absolute mind on everything. All right, I'm such an, I don't like commenting on something if there's just something wrong with something or commenting because it's bad. I think if you're going to comment, you've got to comment to change people's minds to get people to start thinking good. So I think if I'm going to waste my energy on something, it's about saying something good or to making the good out of something. So I think that's what everyone should be. If they're going to say something, it's going to be good, because if it's not good, what's the point of saying it? It's better off not saying anything at all. Okay, talks on how great the mind is and its potential. So we can be talking about how, we could have some person, like some girl or whatever, that, she's like, how her brothers and how her family and how everyone said she was stupid and how she was overweight and said all this stuff and made her feel bad, and then she had to go, she got a scholarship for school and she moved away, and then she got treated really good and she had a scholarship, and how saying that, if you get started treating like this and you think that you're nothing and you think this stuff, but then when you get given this opportunity and you change your environment to something that's healthy and people see you, no ego, but of this role, and then to treat you like that as opposed to your own family that should have treated you like that but didn't. So what we're trying to say is that I want people to come to this event, that we can have the people that want to come along just to stir up an argument to say this is bullshit, because their opinion is saying this is bullshit. So we want to target everyone. For me, for having mental illness, I want to talk about what's good for anxiety. Breathing's good for anxiety, meditation's good for anxiety, making contact with extraterrestrials is good for anxiety. You know, if you've got real bad anxiety, ask them. But first, tell them everything that you can do to help the universe. That's what I did. I started saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Flashbulb, craft appearing. You know, it's like a nightclub out there, just all responding to what I had to say. Because I was like, I was like, yeah. And, I was just saying to my partner, Vacheka, she's like, you always see the light, you always bring me up. And, I've got to start thinking now for the ETs. I said, yeah, because Vacheka, the ETs, they like you. You're a beautiful girl. That you love the animals. You're a Buddhist. You're a peaceful person. Beautiful person. We've got a daughter, Vienna, like a little 5-month-old, and one of my mates said, because we did a C5 together, said that I channeled this information and said that you and your partner and yourself are really high up in this. No ego. Don't try and. But that you really, I'm getting all this information of stuff that you've done, and and I was like, it's not all bullshit. I have put this in, and I've seen so many ET craft appear. So I know that they've got my back, and they like me. They're intrigued by me, and I said to them, I poured 3 drinks out tonight. I had a big glass here next to the Christ candle, and I poured myself a big glass of wine, and I thought I might do that experiment where they write something on something and they bless it, or and then change the crystalline form. So I wrote this out. It says, blessed with all understanding, we are one. Had that in a big glass right here next to my Christ candle, said a prayers or written my Christ candle. And I said, I just want to make a movie that people can understand, and for me, that I want to be about this part of the subject, so I want to help out. So back to this. We're going to talk about spirituality over the event. Tips on anxiety. Easy. Let's talk about tips on anxiety. First off, breathing is really good. We're going to give away free 5-HTP, which is a free boost your serotonin levels, but we have to say that you can't take it if you take antidepressants, because it's a natural it's a natural antidepressant. We can talk about breathing, meditation, we'll talk about multiculturalism, we'll talk about peace, and we'll talk about good friends and how good it is to have good friends, and what we have found are the key essentials to making good friends. And this is the standard you should have, and don't drop yourself below that. And then I wrote out a piece of paper. I wrote out services, aim, goal, objective, outcome, data, involvement, avenue, organisation. So services, this is the services that I want to offer for the event. Host the event, supply water, food, talk on subjects that are helpful and useful, prepare people for contact, plenty of take-home information. So that was the services. Our aim, open people up to this area, help them, get them on board, get new team members, make friends, show the way, world peace. Goal, to have successful, meaningful event. So that was a goal. To make contact, change lives, give meaning to others. So give meaning to other people's lives and get them to feel that they want to be a part of something. The objective, have it delivered well, non-threatening and feeling like we are telling others what to do. Have more, bigger events. The outcome, got myself and others the foot in the door. Disclosure. Data, a lot. God is data, and there's going to be a lot of data to this. The involvement. Future, non-for-profit organisation. Pushing peace. I'll have a wage. So if I want to create this to create 100 events a year, and I could go to governments like Australia and say, I'm doing something with the Aboriginals, and it's going to be involved about this, and then I'm going to go to America and say I'm going to have a spiritual thing based around the native Indians, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get all this funding from all around the country. I say, well, hey, I think to work on this and to fly around, I'll have a business that I can make a wage, so I can always work on this. This is not the objective of the CE Fiverr Group. This is me writing every single thing down that I can think of, that where it might go. And this is what you've got to do. So for me, if I could be a coordinator that, put that aside because too many people are going to complain because they say you should do it for free. All I'm saying is if I'm a smart guy that can create something and create, this transcript that we can do, but then I'll go around to all the other countries and start marketing it to those countries and getting world peace and getting everyone to work in. I think that I should at least be able to give a non-for-profit wage, which is my wage, so I can continue doing this to infinity. So I don't believe in charging for events. That's not something that I'm going to do. Know that all you CE5 members out there and all you people that are in the same, if I make it in life, if I make a lot of money or if I win the lottery, know that I'm going to have you counted and have you involved in something that is going to be based around something that I want to do. I want to keep you involved. I want to run it like a business